Laser here. I thought I'd make a basic overclocking guide for overclocking some AMD systems. Um, all the tools I'll be using in the description will be there. First things first, you're gonna make sure you have a decent cooler. I certainly don't. I've got some stupid AMD cooler in there. You're gonna make sure you have a motherboard that you can overclock. Overclock with, and a CPU. Older AMD CPUs like the one I'm using, you just need a motherboard that works and it'll work fine. So yeah. Now I'm obviously not gonna push the chips too hard because I don't want to. I don't feel like killing anything today. So I'm gonna turn on system. I'm gonna hit delete. And then monitor turns on. There's post. You already hear the CPU fan turn on. So you're in the BIOS because it's hitting delete. I'm gonna go down to, this is a Gigabyte BIOS, this is a Ward BIOS. I don't like it, I like the Phoenix BIOS, it's better. But in the standard CMOS features you can change all this stuff. So the first thing I'm gonna do, so for some reason this BIOS, because I reset the BIOS before I did this, for some reason, oh no, it's fixed, but they had the virtualization disabled, and that kept annoying me, so, yeah. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the BIOS settings. This one's called the Motherboard Intelligent Tweaker, or MIT. And oh, my overclock's already there. Let me just reset the BIOS. I pressed let optimize, not failsafe. Okay, so now if I go back to MIT, there we go. So it's stuck at 200. So the ratio is usually at ×5. So 2 times 5 is 3 gigahertz. So this is locked at 3 gigahertz right now. So 2 times 5 is 3,000. 200 times 5 is 3,000. That's at 3 gigahertz. If I want to push this up to something, say 2.2 gigahertz, which is like 2.14 or something, I can. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push this up. Don't go too fast. So I'm going to start at 204. I'm going to hit F10. See if the thing reboots. There, boot posts. So then I'm going to go back to the tweaker. And you can also, this motherboard has a graphics booster, so I'm going to put this on fast. I'm gonna push the CPU. Oop, not that. Don't want to change the PCIe clock. You can leave that for now. You hit 206, hit F10, enter. So the robust graphics accelerator was overclocking the PCIe link or bandwidth between the graphics card and the motherboard. Sometimes Windows doesn't like that. I'll show you that later. So let's go to 8 F10. There'll be a certain point where the system will not want to boot anymore, and I'll get to that. Oh. Now that we're getting into higher ranges, we're going to go to CPU voltage. Now be very, very careful. There's a big red warning here on the screen. I'm pretty sure you guys can read it. But yeah, be very careful. It's really annoying. It's really dangerous. When you screw this up, it will kill the CPU, definitely. So for some reason, the highest voltage is at the top of this BIOS. So as you can see, it says normal CPU voltage core is 1.4 volts. I can change this to 1.42 volts, or I can undervolt it to save. I can put it to 0.8 volts, gosh. This thing's hot. On the standard stock 3 gigahertz is a 6,000 plus CPU, Athlon dual core. It's usually about 60 Celsius. There's got a massive copper heatsink in there. You can see there's heaps of fins in there, and it's a stock AMD one. I'm actually gonna get a new cooler for it, but so I'm gonna put this up to 1.425. I'm not gonna go past that, because I'll show you why later. pick this to 2.10. F10. Now this will take a little bit longer to post now because it's verifying overclocking or whatever. Or not. Get the BIOS. So now we can go back down to the intelligent tweaker. We can hit this up to 212. Actually, we can go to 214. So now we're about 3.3 gigahertz instead of the stock 3.1. So we're gonna go into the Windows OS now. Once this thing decides to post. This is how I hate award BIOSes. This got this information that you don't really want to see. So it's posting. Looks like it. For some reason the screen resolution looks out of whack, so we'll see what that is in a sec. Or not. It worked. Last time I did that, it crashed. So once you've gone to the desktop environment, I'll just log in a sec. See, it's taking a lot longer. This just seemed like it's about to crash. I know why. If it crashes, I know why it will crash. Oh no. I thought it was gonna crash. It's just working. Okay, so it's working. I'll be back. Hey guys, so I logged into Windows. So these are my two favorite benchmarking tools and stress tools. So the first thing I do is go run Intel burn test. I think we'll run Valley Benchmark. So this will test the graphics card. Valley Benchmark's going to test the video card. I'm going to put it on medium because it's not a high card. Yeah, that will test the PCIe overclock that we did, and see if the graphics card can handle it. If we got a 400 watt supply, it's more than enough for this. So I put a 550 watt, but I'm not bothered. So the Valley would load. I'm not recording a 4K on my S6 now. I'm still recording in 1080p. I just like it better. As you can see, it looks like the system's stable, so we're gonna let this run the run round of Valley. 15-20 FPS is pretty decent for this card. It's a GT630, so it's nothing that special. But it looks pretty fine. 20 FPS, so I have to let it run in benchmark mode because that's when that goes of how. So let it benchmark and see what it get. So I'll be back once it's finished. One thing to notice is that the temperature. So while this is running, no, I'll do that through burn test. I'll show you that in burn test. Or ID64. Don't know which one I'm going to use. Notice the temperature for the graphics card is at 63 Celsius. That's okay. That's because we got plenty of case load. We got the power supply is the loudest thing in the computer. And we got two fans, 90mm fans. And yeah, all the hot air from the CPU is coming out of the power supply. Graphics cards are cooling itself. Oh, there we go. Oh, system froze. And clock watchdog timeout. I notice that the screen is blurry. And I can definitely hear the graphics card now. So that is, I knew was going to crash. So that's basically saying that the PCIe link is not really that good in this motherboard. This motherboard doesn't like overclocking the PCIe stuff at all. And that's really concerning. You can hear the graphics card. Sounds like it's about to die. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I'm just gonna hard power this thing off. It might actually be the It's the CPU actually. The video card, it's a 45. Yeah, it's the CPU can, not the graphics. Okay, so the clock dog, whatever the clock watchdog, is when that happens. So yeah, but otherwise that's okay. So we don't have to run value but anymore. So we know that we can't really overclock the PCI Express link because this motherboard. It just depends on the motherboard, the CPU, the graphics card, build quality. This motherboard is pretty old, so I'm not surprised why. But yeah, that's pretty normal. So if that won't surpass it, if it's because it's not an extreme edition motherboard, it's the budget. This motherboard when it came out in 2000 and I don't know, but 2007, 2010, I don't know, but it was a budget overclock board, so it didn't have EPS connectors. It has a 4-pin EPS, not an 8-pin EPS, so it does have a 24-pin, of course. It has a decent PCI Express. I think it's a Gen 2, not a Gen 3. But this CPU is really hot, I can hear it. Let's see if the system responds. I don't know if you guys can see, but the brightness on my side is pretty low from the monitor. But that's okay. My camera's breathing for some reason. The white balance, come on. My hand's not that bright. Look. I guess it's gonna change now. My hand is nowhere near that bright, it's a lot darker. So I'll be back once I get into the desktop. Okay, so now I'm in the desktop environment. I'm gonna use my favorite CPU benchmarking tool. It's for like, it's free, like unlike Prime 95 and Nida 64. I think there are 3 versions of those, but I haven't got them. So this is called Intel Burn Test V2. Let me link somewhere. So is Valley Benchmark. There's a free edition and a pro edition. Not much difference besides like data stuff. So run benchmark. And I've also got another piece of software. It's called hardware info. So before I run this, I get hardware info. So I get hardware info running out. Oop. No, I open to run. Put this to the side. So here's got the system. So as you can see in these settings, the CPU is at, who knows, that is enabled. But CPU max, CPU status. So that's going up, as you can see when it hits the top, 3.25 something. We'll see in a second. But we'll also need the sensors tab for the temperature of the processor. As you can see, the graphics card, let's check graphics. It's at 40 Celsius, that's pretty low, judging by today's new graphics cards. And the thing is about 45 Celsius. I don't know why one core is a lot cooler than, yeah, but I don't know why it's a lot cooler. One core is a lot cooler, 51, 45 at max. The current, they're about 44, 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to 2 times, actually no, 5 times. On a 1 gig standard stress, 64-bit mode, and yeah, so I'm gonna hit run. We'll start. It's got the pin the CPU at max, so you're gonna see the speed that we overclocked it to is 3.215 gigahertz, and the original is 2.99, maybe 3, can't remember. But it's gonna pin the processor at full. And there's a flame here called freeze test, and it's frozen, and there we go. clock watchdog timeout. So this is what happens when you get CPU clocks that are not really, they're a little bit too high for your computer. You could raise the voltage, but I can't because I don't want to cook this thing to death. That's already at it's like probably about 70 Celsius, so yeah. So some systems can't really overclock that much. I could raise the voltage, I just don't want to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down, and you can see the CPU fans at max, or almost max. I don't want it to run at max, so I'm going to drop this down to 212, which I'm going to drop it down about 25 megahertz, I guess. I don't know how much it's going to do. Server, well, that's going. This is my internet router. It says good for routing my internet, but yes, there's a big LAN cable going all the way around into the back of the desktop, as you can see right there. Anyways, so originally I tried installing XP on the system. Worked fine, I just didn't like it because the graphics driver support was like fucked. So nope, I'm changing. Pretty sure this thing was made for 7, so no, Vista and 7. Yeah, probably ran XP as well. And 7, actually 10 is much less intensive than 7 from what I found. Storage size, processing power. 10 is a little bit more laggy than 7 though, so it's unforgiving on the integrated graphics that you get for some shitty things. Like the chip and this thing, it's got like a 60 something, and that's not working. 6100 G4 6100 GPU, but yeah. So now I can run burn test again and see what happens. I'll get back. Okay, so back in the desktop environment. Let's open up this stuff. Info. Come on. I hate having a slow 300 gig hard drive. I'm so used to SSDs now. Oh my, typing Edge. Next minute. I guess I should leave it, but I'm used to having just running instantly with an SSD, so yeah, whatever, no. Run test. Analyzing devices, analyzing your mum. No. Yeah, that's nice. Close. Sensors. What's out here? The CPU's already like pinned at full. So, see if it passes 1, or if it crashes. So the fire is for the freeze test. So once the fire freezes, CPU's at max, and the temp is at 70 Celsius, 71, 73. Okay, so it crashed to 73. Maybe the TJ Max for this thing is 73 thermal design power. If it is, then that's why it's crashing. I don't think so though. So, oh shit, I'm gonna hit play. Please don't tell me when it's Windows. Okay, sweet. So basically, some motherboards don't hate overclocking, some do, but I'm gonna put this down to 200, which is 3 gigahertz. 3 gigahertz, change the voltage down back to 4.4. Actually, let's undervolt it. So I'll show you what undervolting does. It's 1.2 volts. I guess severe system instability. I don't think this will boot, which is good because I need to show you guys what happens if it doesn't boot. So Windows will generate a whole bunch of errors. Or it won't even boot, it will just like crash on the loading thing. Basically when if your computer won't post, there we go, so IO's in this, yeah, so the CPU is not fast enough and can't communicate with the North bridge, it looks like, if the IO initialized, session failed. Sweet. So when I go put it back to 1.4 volts, everything will be stuck at normal. So everything's at normal now. And basically if you get a black screen, nothing's working, all you have to do is open your case and reset the BIOS. You should know how to do that. If you're overclocking and you don't know how to open your case and reset the BIOS, why are you overclocking anyway? That's all I'm gonna say. Why are you overclocking if you don't even know how to open your reset the BIOS? For people who like buy pre-built, you couldn't even do this on pre-built systems anyway if you buy, besides if it's an overkill like pre-built system from some like non-branded company like I don't know NCIX for example. You can say NCIX Canada. I'm in Australia, but anyways, they ship to Australia, so that's nice. But yeah, if you're doing something with NCIX Canada or something, what the hell am I talking about? Sorry. Oh yeah, sorry, to pre-built computers. So yeah, if you buy something from them, and it's got pretty decent specs and you want to overclock, you should at least know how to build a system first to reset the BIOS at least. At minimum. Screen brightness, I hate this stupid mod. So then now, once it's on stock settings, manufactured by AMD, we'll open this, we'll run bench, test, 81 kilobytes. Then the thingy is like 100 meg. What is it? 5.1 meg. Whatever. So if it crashes now, that means we have a faulty power supply. It should not crash at all. Temperature should be fine. It should hit the 70s or something. It shouldn't climb temperatures as fast as it did before. So yeah. Well, I like the motion blur now. You guys don't know, it's a lot smoother than my S5. I'm just moving my phone around. I think it's gyro motion blur. So if I gave you guys nausea. Pew. Pew. Just do one. CPU fans going all the way up and it still hasn't completed one after a minute. I'm gonna end this video really fast. Hopefully it just does one. Tells me system's not gonna crash. If it's gonna crash, I'm gonna have to replace the power supply. Because, yeah. Reasons. It's a crappy A1 one that's like worth like 10 cents. It's a 420 watt power supply, so don't know if I should consider getting rid of it. I might use it for something else. Like an MLG build or something. 420 watt. There you go. So that's at 7 G-flops. My Alienware does about 35 G-flops. So, yeah. But it's a dual core. I'm about to get a quad core chip. So, yeah, anyways guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully this is somewhat informative. I know that it's not accurate compared to new stuff. But, I just stop that before it goes crazy. Stop. So it's not really accurate compared to today's information. Gosh, you can hear the heatsink, the fan. But it's not really accurate because of the age of the parts I'm using. But it's still a good idea of how to do it, especially if you start in old hardware and work your way up. It's like something like an i7 first. If you gotta say something ridiculous like a 6700K i7, and you want to start on something that you can knowledgeably destroy, so then you can get a first generation i5, a stupid motherboard that supports overclocking, which only costs you about $200. You can even get liquid dry ice. You can get dry ice from any like meat store or whatever. I don't know where you get this shit from. I've never bought dry ice before, so I know people have. Yeah, I know this guy's been a really long video, so I'll be surprised if you're still tuned in. But anyways, thank you. See you guys again in another tutorial, maybe a shorter one. Might even redo this. I probably won't. I'll probably just upload it without an intro or something. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Bye.